Hello, and thanks for joining me again. It is job search season, and I've recently shared some resources with you for the application and interview process. And today I have a special guest that's going to help us understand how to manage our online presence during the job search process. So, Jennifer, if you don't mind, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer van Alstyne. My business, the Academic Designer LLC, helps professors talk about what they do and the research and teaching they care about online. And having an online presence is awesome when you're going on the job market. So I definitely am excited for this conversation today. And I just want to start off by saying that if you don't have any online presence, there are things that we can do. If you have a strong online presence, there's always things that we can improve. So this will be a fun talk.
Great. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. I did not have an online presence until just a couple of years ago. So because it felt overwhelming and I was unsure what I would even do. So let's start with your perspective on how having an online presence impacts the job search process.
Yeah, I think actually, before we jump into how it helps, I just want to say, as a caveat to some people, it may be that the job applications you're doing mean that your online presence actually won't support your job application. And that's if you are applying to a position at a public university in the United States. Occasionally, they do have strict limitations about what people who are on that search committee can and cannot look at. So if you want your online presence to be a part of that, you may need to include your website or your LinkedIn profile actually in your application packet on your CV, somewhere where it's legally part of your application, because otherwise some people may not actually be allowed to even Google your name. So I just want to caveat this discussion by saying, for some people, it is more important than others. If you're applying to a public university, there's so many ways an online presence can help. It may not help the search committee directly. But let's talk about ways in which an online presence can help your job search, because honestly, it is such an important tool that we can all use. Like, this is not something that is limited based on your skill set. It's not limited based on how much budget you have to put towards it. You can have an online presence for free at any point in your career. And it really helps when you're on the job market because it's such a friendly way to learn about you. It's an approachable way for people to find similar information that they might find in your application, but in like a more engaging and interactive way even. People can have conversations with you if you're on social media. They can explore your website, the research and teaching you do, even more engaging materials like watching a video or checking out a syllabi that you've created can be more fun on a computer, on their phone, wherever they are. Your online presence works for you 24/7, even when you're sleeping. So it can definitely be a supportive tool when you're job searching.
I think that is such a good point that you brought up, that often search committees are not allowed to go searching for you, at least not early in the process, because they don't want bias to get into the process. So that tip of including that information in your actual application materials is a really good idea so that people can find that about you. And often, I think, in my experience, my online presence helped me learn about positions that were open and make connections with people who could tell me other things. So even if the committee wasn't looking at it, I still was able to connect with some people that gave me some insight on positions that were open.
I love that. Yes, connecting with people who aren't on the search committee, people who are at the university, people who have gone through a similar job search experience before, people who are going through the same job search experience you're going through right now. These are all people that we can connect with through our online presence. And it really facilitates a warmer connection between people because they already know a little bit about you. And that really does make a difference.
Mhm. Yes. So given that we know it can help us in our job search, even if it's not in official capacity, what do you think the minimum online presence a faculty candidate should have when they're starting that search process?
Yeah, that's a good question. I typically tell faculty it's a good idea to actually Google your name and find out what kind of online presence you have before you start sending in applications, even. If you're already sending in applications, do it today. It doesn't take very long for us to Google ourselves to find out what other people might be seeing when they Google for us, because that is something that does happen in almost all job searches that are not specifically academic. Hiring managers love to say that they're going to check out your LinkedIn profile. They want to see what you say on social media. If you have a personal website, they're probably going to check it out before they interview you. And so I just want to share these things with you because you may be an academic who is considering, searching outside of the university for jobs. And so hiring managers for academic jobs and hiring managers for non-academic jobs really do care about your online presence when you've made one. Now, that's not to say if you don't have any presence, that it's going to negatively impact you for an academic job search. It may actually negatively impact you for a non-academic job search. So I did want to introduce that caveat there.
Yeah, that's good to know. So what should a prospective faculty member's social presence look like in terms of a website or other specific social sites that they might want to engage in?
Yeah, so I would say at a minimum, you would want people to be able to find out a little bit about you, about your research, teaching, and the service that you care about within about a minute of Googling. So that can come up in a number of ways. If you have a faculty profile on your university's website, just updating that can make a difference. If you have a LinkedIn profile, updating the bio and the most recent work experience can make a difference. These are smaller changes that you can make to have an online presence. And these are things that you might already have. If you have a Google Scholar page, there's a short little one sentence bio section at the top that you can add and include your contact information. So you don't always have to create new things for your online presence in order to improve your online presence. But if you are someone who wants to share your research and teaching on social media, there's so many platforms to choose from. Basically, there's not a wrong answer. There's not a wrong place to be. So if you like videos and you watch a lot of videos and you're interested in making your own, YouTube is the place to be. If you are someone who wants to be a thought leader and really create community around the research and teaching you do, LinkedIn is an excellent place for conversation. It's become more conversational than it has in the past. Twitter is still very popular for academics, even though it's become less so. So there's so many options for sure when it comes to social media.
Yeah, I think it's good to give that perspective of finding the place that fits how you like to share your information.
Yeah.
I was kind of a late adopter to Twitter, but I found my people there and it's, yeah. So now I'm looking for some other options, and trying to find kind of where some of the dynamics have gone. But it's important that I find a place that feels comfortable to me because some places don't feel I don't want to scroll Instagram. That's not my vibe. So trying to find other places. So I'm on LinkedIn. If anyone wants to come hang out with me there, we can talk some faculty stuff.
I love that. I'm on LinkedIn too. And I just want to say for professors, so many of them feel like LinkedIn is just for business people and it's not for them. But I definitely want professors and researchers and graduate students to know LinkedIn is an excellent place to find people who care about the same things you care about. And one of the reasons for that is LinkedIn's amazing search capability. If you type in, a short keyword or phrase that's related to your research, people will actually show up who are researching and thinking about and caring about the same topics. So you are able to connect with people on LinkedIn and find people who care about the same things more easily than some other social media platforms. And that can be great when you're job searching.
Yeah. So I have a question about that since we're taking that little side quest into LinkedIn. I know there's the option to follow people and then connect. And I always feel a little unsure what I should do. On Twitter, it seems like people just connect and follow each other. It's a really just whoever. Follow as many people, they follow you. It's all good. But LinkedIn feels a little bit more like if I connect, should I really know this person first? Do you have any insights for people who are just trying to build up a connection base in LinkedIn?
Yeah, I would say that I have maybe about 3,500 connections on LinkedIn, and I do not know all of them. I do not know maybe most of them in person. And I want to share that with you because I was someone who also felt the same way. Like I should only connect with people who I know on LinkedIn. And that actually stopped me from reaching out. Actually, reaching out and connecting with people I knew was sometimes scarier than reaching out and connecting with people that I didn't. because I felt like they might judge what I was saying or what was on my profile a little bit more. So yeah, it goes both ways. Like, I'm not sure who to connect with and why is one of the reasons that stops us from being sure whether we should follow someone or whether we should connect with them. And I would say that the way that LinkedIn works is that when you connect with someone, you automatically follow them. So if you think
Mhm.
you might want to have a conversation with someone in the future where you can actually message them and meet potentially, that's someone you want to connect with. Because once you connect with them, you'll be able to send that message and have that personal conversation. Uh, if you follow someone, you'll be able to see their posts, you'll be able to comment and reply on their posts, but it isn't the same level of interactivity that you can achieve when you connect with someone. And the best tip that I can give for connecting with people is to have your own LinkedIn profile filled out so that when you connect with them, they can go check out your profile and see if they think that you'd be a good person for them to connect with too. And I will say, I have sent out lots of connection requests that I don't receive a response on. Most of the time, that's because people are not actively spending time on LinkedIn. They may even have their LinkedIn account connected to an old email address that they're not checking anymore. So don't feel like if you send someone a connection request and they don't respond right away, that it's about you. It's probably not. It may be that they don't check their connection requests, they don't have time, or they just don't really use LinkedIn actively. And so those are all possibilities too. Don't let that keep you from actually reaching out and hitting that connect button.
Yeah. I'll just point out that we connected on LinkedIn, and that's how we are having this conversation today.
Yes.
So yes, so it is okay to connect with people, even if it feels a little scary when you first start doing that. So when faculty, either when they're on the job market or just doing normal connections and sharing their work, what type of information should faculty be sharing out
Mm.
on their social profiles and on their websites?
That's a good question. I think it really depends on the faculty member. I work with clients all over the world, and I would say some are more teaching heavy, some are more research heavy in their workload. But what they share on social media doesn't always correlate to what they're doing in their academic life one to one. And I say that because it may be more fun for you to talk about your teaching, even though what you're doing mostly in your day to day life is your research. When you're on the job market, when you're actively searching for jobs, I would recommend posting about topics that you actually want to have conversations with that might come up in an interview, something that matters to you and that exemplifies the things that you care about and the work that you're doing. So that might be talking about current research, talking about going to a conference or a presentation, even attending an event can start conversations. And so I don't think that there's a limit to what you can say in terms of what to share for your academic life. Um, there's really not like, yes, share only research stuff, share only teaching stuff, share only service stuff. It's really about you and what you feel comfortable with and what is going to bring the conversations that like you think will actually move you forward in life, like move you forward with the research, teaching, and service that you care about. Because if you're starting conversations because you think you should be posting about something and it's not actually the conversations that you want to have, you might be attracting the wrong people, at least the wrong people for right now, for your goals right now.
Mhm.
This is a process that we need to kind of reevaluate over time as our needs change and the people that we want to be in collaboration with changes too.
Yeah, it's so true. Post about what you want to have a conversation about. I agree. So if someone right now has maybe they're just on Facebook on a personal profile or they haven't set up their LinkedIn, they're not on Twitter, do you have any specific recommendations on where they should start to try and make connection?
Yeah. So making connections is a really specific type of use for online presence. And making
Mhm.
connections is best facilitated by a place that you're spending time. You can't really make connections if you're not checking the platform. So if you're on Facebook and that's your personal life, join a group that's related to your scholarly field. A lot of societies and organizations have Facebook groups. A lot of departments have Facebook groups or pages. And so these are opportunities for you to still have conversations on Facebook on a place where you're already spending time. and where you can control those notification settings. You're also not necessarily having to learn anything new because it's a platform you're already familiar with. Now, if you're looking to really build your online presence so that you can facilitate more conversations, the best place I can recommend for you to do that is on LinkedIn. While there are academic social media platforms like ResearchGate and academia.edu, more academics are actually spending time on LinkedIn and using LinkedIn actively in their lives than they are looking for research and conversations on the academic or research social media platforms. So I would recommend putting energy into your LinkedIn profile so that you can facilitate those connections and have conversations with people in ways that make sense for you. I know like most people aren't like, oh yeah, I'm going to go DM a bunch of people. But if you can start a conversation in a more natural way, or even take it offline on email and just say, hey, here's my LinkedIn profile so you can learn more about me, that's a possibility too. These conversations don't necessarily need to take place on the original platform where you've connected.
Go places you want to be.
Yeah.
So if a place doesn't feel good, don't feel like you have to be there.
Yeah.
And I know that, being on the job market can be a little nerve wracking. So some people probably appreciated knowing that committees aren't always allowed to go just search you out
Yes.
and find whatever, but your tip to Google yourself first and see what's already out there, and then maybe how you can add some more that you want people to find in the long term. So, do you have any other tips or information that you might share about social media that our viewers might find helpful?
Yeah, when it comes to social media, some people feel like it's too late for them or they've missed their chance. Maybe they haven't actively used the social media platform they're already on, or they're thinking about joining now, but it feels like they kind of missed the boat. I just want to say it's never too late and it's never too early. If you're like, I'm job searching in a couple of years from now, start now. Because when it comes to facilitating those connections, there isn't like a 1-to-1 ratio of like, if I make this connection, I'm going to get a job. It doesn't work like that. But connections can always help us make more informed decisions. They can help us have conversations that lead us to growth, or they can even lead to being aware of potential jobs to apply for. And so if you don't start building those connections as soon as you know that that's a potential goal of yours in the future, I think that that's the best way that you can help yourself. I really do. And it could be on any social media platform. It could be working on your bio or on your email signature, like anything that you can do to communicate a little bit more with the people around you in real life. That's what's important. Everything we do for our online presence is about communicating with people who are real human beings who are going to have real relationships with us in the future.
Mhm. And I'll just give another tip that I've used when I've applied at institutions before. I was on the job market a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I don't know the cycle. So when I was on the job market, though, I applied and was looking at several institutions. And I found people that worked at the institution, but were not in any way related to the department that I was applying to, and just said, hey, I'm curious about your institution. Would you mind having a short conversation with me so I can ask you some questions? And I found several people to be really receptive to that, just in terms of getting the vibe of the
I
campus.
love that.
And because they weren't involved with the department, they didn't feel any awkwardness or, oh my gosh, this is a conflict. I shouldn't be talking to you because I'm going to be on the search committee or I'm going to be watching your research presentation later. So I found people to be really receptive to answering questions about the vibe of a place.
I love that
when they
idea.
weren't.
Yeah. What an excellent idea, because it's so almost like a warm way to better understand a campus than when you're actually there in the room talking with people at the interview. I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah, yeah, it's super helpful for me to do that and find out. So I really appreciate you joining me today. And I'm sure that some people will be like, okay, I want to do something, but I'm not sure how else to get started. So where can people find you and maybe get some extra help from you on creating an online presence that's going to do them good in their
Oh,
careers?
yeah. I would love for you to come find me and my resources on theacademicdesigner.com. I have a blog called The Social Academic where I share tons of resources, tips, interviews from faculty managing their online presence. I also want to let you know that a really good place to start If you want a personal academic website, is called Owlstown. It's a free website builder that academics can use to make a simple personal academic website in, I mean, like 15 minutes to an hour. And so if you're on the job market and you're like, I need a website, I think this will be really helpful for me, that's where you can do it quickly without having to learn a lot of new skills or work with someone like me. Although I am available if you would like a super awesome personalized website for yourself. I want you to know that that free resource exists for you in Alstown.
That is excellent. Thank you. I'll be sure to put that link below. I have not heard of that. And I've heard of a lot of different ways to get started on websites. So I appreciate you sharing that with me today. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. Again, I'm Dr. Kimberly J. Hale, Faculty Success Coach. Keep exploring.